Guys, we've all been there, haven't we? Your teacher has set you a presentation to do and you've decided to do a PowerPoint presentation. So up you stand, showing your PowerPoint presentation. Here's a picture, here is some text I found on the internet, and you stand there and read it. Some people, most people your age actually, probably find this very uncomfortable. But what's even worse, it's really, really boring for your audience. All you're doing is reading out text, and they've probably read the text faster than you can read it. Or, if they haven't already read the text, they're probably asleep. So there's a much better way. What you should try instead is think, change the slide every 5 seconds, and then take the text and break it down into 1 or 2 sentences. So here we can see, I would say something like, boys in the Aztec Empire would receive a good education, no matter what their prospects for a career were. You will see there is absolutely no text on the slide itself, only a picture. Google presentations and PowerPoints are really about the pictures and not about the words. Then you go to the next slide and you can see all we've done is we've chopped up your text into smaller sentences. So here we would say astronomy, rhetoric, poetry, history, and of course religion would all be important subjects at school. You can see that took me about 3 or 4 seconds to say. You would then move on to the next slide. Here you would say something like, then there will be the actual training in the battlefield. A boy became a man in society at the age of 17. Training as a kid to be a warrior was very tough. Now at this stage, you might want to spend more time looking at this picture because this picture has some specific detail. So you can use your cursor and point to the next thing you're going to talk about. So we're going to talk about this boy having his hair pulled because clearly it seems that he's not a very good warrior. So this punishment is part of his training, but you do need to point this out on the actual picture itself. So for this picture, you might have longer than 5 seconds, but that's only because you're pointing things out. So you can see in this picture, a young boy appears to be in trouble. He's having his hair pulled. You can also see some flowers. We will talk about the flowers later on in this presentation. All I've done with this presentation is that I've taken my initial lecture and divided it up into smaller sentences, 1, 2 or maximum 3 sentences, and then each time I read out the sentence and change the slide. The best way to do this is to put the text in first and then put in the slides. You can see here that I've broken down the text and put it into the speaker's notes. Okay, great. Stop the video and try to do this.